Well, I'm delighted to say that he joins me now, speaking for the first time since Saturday's defeat. All right, well, Dillon, how are you, first of all?
Feel great. MMA is a lot harder than boxing, I'll say. Definitely on the body.
MMA is?
Yeah,
really?
A lot harder, yeah.
But you are wearing dark glasses.
Yeah.
There's a reason.
I wear glasses all the time.
Let's have a quick look.
I don't want to get Logan's going to have the satisfaction.
Come on, let's see the eyes. There we are.
Not too bad.
I mean...
I was in a fist fight, but he looked worse. He was running the whole time. You know?
Yeah.
I wanted to fight. He was running. So I didn't really get the satisfaction.
Here's my take on what happened.
Yeah. Did you watch the fight?
You are a brilliant jiu-jitsu fighter. I mean, you're one of the best there's been, right? You're a world champion multiple times. You have huge credibility and respect for everything you've achieved in jiu-jitsu.
Thank you.
But when I watched what happened at the weekend with you and Logan Paul, I just thought, I don't know, it just seemed to me like, what was in that for you? I get it makes you more famous. Yeah. I get it made you a ton of money. I get all that. I get that from a marketing point of view. Everyone thoroughly enjoyed the extravaganza.
Yeah.
But as a fighter with a great reputation, when you came away from it, what did you feel?
About the fight, it didn't feel like a fight. I feel like he was running away. Every time I tried to engage with him and try to get in there and like trade, he would run away, you know?
And you landed 9 punches in 6 rounds.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing
that's not great, is it?
It's because he was running, though. Even Conor was saying it. He was running. He was on the back foot the whole time. I was trying to push forward. I wanted to fight. I wanted to clinch. I wanted to fight. I was like,
I mean, you threw more fights at the end with the security guys.
That big dude, man, I was trying to get at him, but he was a chunky big dude, and he was pushing me away and everything. But it was fun.
Why did you, just for the record, why did you suddenly dive in and do a jiu-jitsu move?
I wasn't actually trying to, but he was smart. He Vaselined his head up. So I guess he knew I was trying to go for his neck. But at that moment, I actually wasn't. I was just grabbing his head, and he just kind of shrugged me in the Vaseline. And he threw that punch, and then I up-kicked him.
But you dived in for his body, his legs.
Yeah, I was just kind of, at that one time, I was just kind of just messing around a little bit, you know, to let him know what a real fight is. Boxing's not a real fight. It's a half a fight. I want to fight him in a real fight where he shook my hand and said he was going to fight me in MMA.
Do you think he'll ever get in an MMA environment with you?
I mean, he shook my hand. If he's a real man, he should, you know. He didn't defend his fiance, in my opinion. If a man talks the way I did about your fiance, he should knock me out.
I wanted to mention that too, because I don't know him or his fiance. Nina Agdal, right? But
I don't know. I think that's her stage name.
Is it? But here's my point about that. Isn't it a bit cheap, Dillon, to go for the girl, not the man?
No, because if it was someone else, yes, I would never do that. I would never cross those lines. But with the Pauls, they cross those lines all the time. His brother went at my.
But should you stoop to that level?
In this fight, I think it made sense because it was all true. Everything was public. What she's saying, what she's suing me for is all fake. I didn't hack her phone. I didn't do any of that.
But have you ever done that to a jiu-jitsu opponent?
No. I wouldn't have done it to even, like, if I was talking about a regular fighter's wife, I would be like, oh, the guy's an asshole. Well, people know this is true. People know her past. It's all out there, so everything was public. And
you know what I mean, though. You're like I say, you're a world champion fighter.
Yeah.
It just seemed a little bit demeaning to me to target the woman, not the guy.
In this boxing match, he's 0-2. I'm a jiu-jitsu guy. What are we gonna sell our boxing skills? No, you know, I'm a promoter, so I wanted to make people watch this fight, and it did over 1.3 million views. So,
how much money did you make from it?
A lot.
You haven't said how much.
I don't want to say a number, but a lot of money. A lot of money. But I should have been at the paper. I should have got the pay-per-view.
I mean, you did actually say that if you lost, you would give your share of the purse. In fact, we got a clip.
We never shook hands.
Well, here we are.
We never shook hands.
Here's a clip.
Yeah. I bet I knock you out.
How much?
I don't care. Don't matter. I made a bet to you.
What was it?
It said if I win, I had to be the best man at your wedding.
Okay. And if I win, I get your entire purse.
Sure.
All right. Well, that's pretty unequivocal. So, Dillon, here we have a large check. A large check made payable to Logan. But what we don't know...
We actually are making an appeal, though, so it actually might be a win for me because he punched me on the ground.
Right,
so the appeal I might be the winner.
But if we were to put a figure in here, what are we looking at?
Over $1 million.
Over $1 million? Pounds or dollars?
Dollars.
$1 million US dollars?
Yeah.
That's your cut?
Yeah. I mean,
is that your biggest ever payday?
In fighting, yes, for sure. Yeah, you know, MMA doesn't pay that well. That's why after this, I'm going to the UFC. I want to go to the UFC. I think the UFC now will see my potential in selling fights and everything like that. So
see, that's the bit I get. I think you're a smart marketing guy, right?
I came up under the best.
Yeah, this has all been a very smart marketing play. I get that. Yeah. I mean, I went down to see your mate Conor McGregor fight Floyd Mayweather, and it was a fascinating thing to watch. Yeah. I never actually thought he could beat Floyd Mayweather, but
he did great.
But for a few rounds, he went toe to toe with him, and it was really interesting to watch.
He did really.
And it was a massive success financially obviously, for both of them. So I do get the exhibition kind of nature of this. But it's not real fighting, is it?
No, it's not. In my opinion, it's not. If me and you got into a street fight, we're not going to be like, hold on a second, let's go get these gloves and throw it on and box. We're fighting. And he knows I would strangle him unconscious within 30 seconds in a real fight. That's why he didn't do the real fight. In MMA, the bag was bigger than the boxing bag, actually. So he turned that down. And
what would happen if you fought him in MMA?
It wouldn't last more than a minute.
How would you take him out?
I would play with him. I could take him down, mount him, and literally slap him around, and just it would be embarrassing. Actually, it'd be so fun.
Do you think any boxer? Funny enough, I did Celebrity Apprentice with Lennox Lewis and Tito Ortiz, the UFC guy.
But these boxers think they can fight.
It was actually very interesting. So we got talking one night because every night you do these long hours. And we're sitting there talking together, and I said, what would happen with you guys? And I got them 2 sets of boxing gloves, and they sparred in the room, right?
Oh, definitely Lennox Lewis would be.
And it was fun. Well, they both agreed that if it was straight boxing, Lennox would win.
Yes.
Right? He's one of the great world heavyweight champions of all time. But they also both agreed that if it got into Tito's world of UFC, he would win. Because he would get Lennox down, and Lennox would
exactly. These guys don't know what they're doing. And Logan tries to act like he...
Would you beat any boxer, do you think?
Oh, all of them. I could probably do it in the same night. Like KSI, Logan, Jake, I could probably do back.
What about the elite boxers, actual top boxers?
Easy. The only one that ever wrestled, I think, was Terrence Crawford, but I don't think he has like a serious wrestling background. But the jiu-jitsu is too hard to learn. That's why these influencer boxers, they don't do MMA because
what about Mayweather at his peak?
Oh, easy.
You would?
Easy. He doesn't have power. The hard thing with the dangerous thing about a boxer for MMA guy is someone that has a one-punch shot. We saw this in the first UFCs. Once you shoot in, it's over, You need to land that one shot, and it's very hard. So once I get a hold of someone, it's over,
You weren't happy that Drake, the rapper...
Yeah, we're friends too. That hurt me.
Well, he bet on Instagram $850,000 on your opponent to knock you out.
He lost.
Yeah, because he didn't knock you out.
Yeah, and me and Drake were friends, so I didn't like how he supported Logan.
Have you been in touch with him?
No, he has a new number now. But
really?
he posted a story saying
So he bet against you, he's ghosted you. What's going on there?
I know, it's messed up. I don't know. Hopefully he watches this and he'll reach out to me.
Well, what's your message to Drake if he's watching?
Should have bet on me.
Camera's there.
I don't know. I thought we were friends, Drake. That's messed up, Logan's not one of us. We don't sue. We don't do lawsuits, Drake is a gangster like me. We don't do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think Drake would have sided with me, in my opinion, Logan's I don't know, he's a pussy. Can I say that on here? I don't know.
We're called uncensored for a reason.
Okay, yeah, he's a pussy. He wanted to sue off. This is what he wanted. He didn't want to fight. He wanted me to pull out this fight. And he learned it was real when he did that water ball and he threw at me and I hit him with that mic, cut his face on it. I gave him almost like a concussion. So he knew it was real. He knew he's not a real fighter. He's an entertainer. He's not built for this.
Is that good for the fight game generally, to have these kind of YouTube influencers?
I don't like it. I don't like it.
But you've taken part in it and it's benefited you.
Yeah, because
if you're Logan Paul, you're like, hang on a sec. You say you don't like it. You just came in and made over $1 million.
Yeah, because Logan fought Mayweather, so he has credibility. But sometimes you go around these events, you see these TikTok kids walking around like they can fight, and I'm like, come on, dude. It's kind of.
I don't
like it either. I'm like, come on. And it's dangerous. Boxing's not a gentle sport. You got to be careful. So these tag team things they're doing and stuff, it's very dangerous.
What would happen if you got in the ring with Conor?
I wouldn't. That's one of my best friends. I don't talk about training partners, So.
You've trained with him?
Oh, I trained with him for almost 10 years.
How serious has he got?
Oh, Conor trains very, very hard, and he hits very hard, and he takes it very seriously.
Have you ever knocked him out?
No. I don't see real martial artists don't talk about training. That's the thing about me, and these guys are different. I'm a real martial artist. I've been training since I was 15, and we go by the code of martial arts. You don't talk about training.
Would you ever fight him though?
No, never. That's
if you're Dana White, you're thinking now with all your profile.
I think me and Khabib or me and Islam would be bigger. Obviously Conor's one of my best friends and my idols and a mentor.
You couldn't beat Khabib, could you?
Oh,
no one's ever beaten Khabib.
I would beat Khabib.
But no one's beaten him.
Yeah, well, he hasn't fought me.
Why would you be able to beat him?
Because my jiu-jitsu is too good. And I'm saying this now. All the stuff I've ever said, I'm willing to go prove it. Give me.
Are people? Look, I'm not as expert as you are in all this sort of.
My jiu-jitsu is too good for these guys.
Well, I was going to ask you, if you are as good at jiu-jitsu as you are, who do you most fear?
I don't fear no one. I want to know what's going to happen.
In your world,
and look at me. I just went and did a boxing match.
In the UFC, for example, what type of fighter would you least want to come up against?
I swear, I would fight all of them. I would fight John Jones. I'm not scared. I did a lie detector test.
Think you could beat him?
I did a lie detector test, and it showed that I believe that. And I think if you're a fighter and you don't believe that, then you're not a real fighter. You know, I believe I can beat any man in the world. So I think these guys aren't that good. And I'm willing to go prove that. So go put me in the UFC and give me Islam first fight.
So Dana White is watching this.
Yeah.
What's your message to him?
Sign me. Let's do it. Give me the biggest fight. Give me anybody you want. Just don't send anybody you want back. I'll beat them all. And I want to prove what I'm saying is true. Because it pisses me off that people don't believe in me, you know? So I want to go out there and I'll fight any one of them.
I'll be honest with you. I had to consult my middle son, who's a bit of an expert in you. He loves you.
Oh, he likes me? Okay,
yeah, and he said, Dad, don't get sort of distracted by what happened with this kind of
it's
thing that happened with Logan. But he said he is one of the greatest jiu-jitsu exponents in the world.
And how many jiu-jitsu guys would go and do a boxing match?
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's what he said.
Yeah. And I went out there, I didn't get wobbled, I didn't get a standing 8 count. Every single one against.
And now you're 10 times more famous than you were 2 months ago.
Exactly. And I didn't do it for the fame. But, you know, I thought Logan would be a better promoter. He was terrible at it. I carried this whole promotion on this card. Better than Tommy, did better than KSI. They didn't give me any pay-per-view points. They treated me like shit. Everything was against me. The steroids that he was taking EPO. The refs were on his side. He picks the refs. He picks the judges. He picks everything, you know. So I was handicapped the whole time.
He still beat you, Dillon.
Yeah, but he beat me in a boxing fight.
Right.
You know, so if he beat me in an MMA fight.
But even that's a bit embarrassing, isn't it? Come on.
Nah. Beat me in a real fight.
He's a YouTube influencer.
He boxed for 5-7 years. He couldn't even rattle me. He was trying to say he would knock me out in a second. Every MMA guy, Joe Rogan, he's going to get knocked out in a minute. He's going to get knocked out like this. Look what happened to Ben Askren. He didn't do anything to me. You know, maybe a couple smacks.
Do you think he'll ever get in the jiu-jitsu world with you or MMA?
Never, no. I don't think so. I mean, he shook my hand. See how much of a man he is. So I'm ready to do it. I could do it tonight. I didn't take any damage. I want to take a fight in the next 30 days. I'm ready to go.
Dillon Danis, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Fighting talk. You've actually committed yourself to about 8 fights there. You realise that?
I'm down for it. Let's do it. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to fight right now. So whoever wants it, let's go.
I'll be there if you do. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Thanks for coming in.
Awesome.